I feel like a little inspired because there's something happening. I'm at my oil change, and I don't know, it kind of leads to the authenticity and everything else. So there's this guy, and he's new, you know, and I could see it in his face, and he has that nervous energy that he's new. And it's kind of funny because, and I'm not saying an oil change and a car check is an easy job. It's not, right? The trades are actually very important and they're very underrated. And, maybe I had a chance to do a trade and I fucked up and I didn't get to do it, right? But the particular job he's doing is very easy, and you can just sense the nervous energy off of him. And I just want to point out that, like, I think that has to do with authenticity and when you get hired, and I don't know if it's imposter syndrome, but it's there, right? There's something going on with the country, with businesses, where everybody thinks their business is the best business in the world, right? And yeah, you have the Fortune 500 companies, you have the so-called Big Four, which is like Deloitte, McKinsey, all of that. You have the tech, like the FANG companies, which is like Facebook, Google, Amazon, Netflix. None of that shit matters. None of it. I'm sorry. None of that shit matters. Like, I was so happy to be at IBM, but I knew that I was at IBM to do a specific thing, and I was going to milk IBM for everything that they had, right? If they had notebooks, I took the notebooks. If they had really important meetings and I could listen to them, I was going to take the information from them, right? I was going to find out what new AI is popping up and then go home and learn that AI, right? I was going to IBM has courses on Coursera that you could take that you could then use to apply to IBM if you wanted to, right? So I found that out and I said, okay, I'm going to start doing these courses. Like, as much as I love IBM or care for IBM, right? It wasn't my end all be all. I was still going home trying to work on my own individual projects. And that's the point. So I see this guy, and he's not really, he's doing the best that he can, and I'm not holding it against him. But also, his particular job is important, but not important. And the part of authenticity that we don't realize is that, and a lot of the companies don't realize this, they're going to lay people off and they're going to say, hey, we don't need you anymore at this job. But it's like, what the hell do you do as a company that impacts my life, right? And there's probably a lot of things that these companies do, but does it really impact your life? Like, when you wake up in the morning to the sun, right? To your body's natural alarm clock, not the manufactured alarm clock, not the one on your phone. Does that impact your life? When you go to the supermarket, right? Or the farm, depending on where you get your food from, how much of an impact does that have on your life? And does it matter? When you get gas, when you drive, when you take the train, right? There's an impact depending on where you're going, what you're doing with your life. But if you literally stayed home all day and you just sat in your yard, or you walked your animal, your pet, and you just woke up and slept according to like your own clock, how much of everything really impacts you? Does IBM influence what I do in terms of a job? Yeah. But Otherwise, not really. It gives me a paycheck, and I use the paycheck to pay for what I need and hopefully invest. So I'm watching this guy, and you know what? I bet he's doing a good job. But I see it in his face. He's nervous. I'm gonna cut him some slack, obviously. I'm not gonna get mad. And there's no reason for me to get mad, right? Because even if you're a petty guy like 50 Cent, at least you own it. And if you're not petty, then there's no reason for people to flag you on that. And yes, society will come out and say, why are you being a petty man? So it's just a good opportunity to express authenticity. It's a good way to see what imposter syndrome is like. And we're all just lying to ourselves. And I would love to live in a society where we could just make money doing what we love, right? And there's a studio that I'm looking at, and he's like that. He wants to make money off of what he loves. And I used to. I was working at Harbor Picture, and it was a part of what I loved to do, and I loved it. The issue was COVID and money. And the fact that something outside of my control was damaging to my career is just bullshit. It really is. So again, don't let the nervousness affect what you do. And even if you are nervous, just own it. And who cares what people tell you? If you're nervous, tell the person you're nervous. Like, hey, first day on the job, I'm figuring it out. Just excuse me if I make a mistake, or if I look weird, or if I don't do something. That's it. That's all you have to say. And you should be fine. There should be no reason why people are hunting you down and attacking you for all this stuff. And if anything, social media is contributing to that, and it's messing it up. And it's funny that LinkedIn is social media as well, and yet, that's somewhere along the lines, everybody became an imposter, and everything, the bar got set so high for whatever reason that nobody can explain it. Because I guarantee you, originally, things like MySpace and Facebook were for positive things. It was so you can keep in touch with people that are far away. It's so you could share your wins, your victories. And somehow it became negative. If this guy over here wants to say, hey, I made it past my first day on the job and I was nervous, but I killed it, you should like that. I don't know anything about this guy, but I applaud this guy, because he's walking around with a nervous face. And you know what? I know he's doing what he needs to do, and I know he's doing a better job than I can, because I can't do everything on my car myself. So I have to trust him. So even if he looks nervous, I just have to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I think that's what we're missing. So, it's funny. Inspiration hits. An oil change leads me to talk about imposter syndrome and being authentic. So just remember that. And just do it at your own time and your own pace. All right?